Global team call. SS Global is a member with Lioness, and Lioness America is an amazing company that we work with. So excited to have each and every one of you on this call learning about our SMEs, which are our small to medium-sized merchants where we can shop. We are a global shopping network, and learning about how you too can build a global shopping network that will pay you for as long as you shop. Tonight we have two special guests. We have one of our VIP leaders from Canada, Mr. Raymond Young, and we also have one of our SMEs from Canada. We have Dave Curtis, and what I wanted to do was, as one of our VIP leaders, we get to hear from our VIPs what's happening, what's going on, and Ray said, you've got to hear about Kingsway Greenhouse and what's happening up in Canada. And once he told me, I said, everyone needs to hear about this. So I want to introduce first Ray Young. Ray, I'm so glad to have you on the call with us tonight.
Thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate being able to take the time and definitely share with the organization a great success story like Dave's.
Well, you're also a great success story, and I have to tell you that, when you spoke in Vancouver, you got such rave reviews. You are always someone who speaks so genuinely, so authentically. You talk about the good, bad, and the ugly. You talk about where you've come from, where you're going, and how so much of what we have is under our control, and it's about making a decision and moving forward. I would love to have you introduce Dave, because I know that you've had a relationship with him for a while, and then I would like to talk to Dave about why he became an SME and some of the results he's having. So could you introduce Dave for us?
Yes, by all means. Dave's only been with our organization just around a year. Met Dave while helping one of our new guys build their organization. And Dave has been self-employed for many years. He's in the greenhouse business. He's got a great business. And is very good at it. But he's very open-minded as a business person, always seemingly has been. He's tried lots of different programs to grow his business. And after a number of presentations, and I mean a number, he went to many presentations. Actually, when you were out last summer for the big event in June or July, that was the first kind of meeting Dave was at to see the bigness of the company and where we're going. But definitely you want to take note as Stephanie goes through this call with Dave. He has done some things that anybody's heard me speak. I keep talking about shopping volume, and I'm big on premium members. I'm big on getting people committed, and Dave is a premium member. His wife is, his kids are. He's highly committed, but at the end of the day, we need to create shopping volume, and Dave is really taking this on in an incredible way. So at this point, I'll turn it over to you, Stephanie, to talk to Dave and have him share some of the insights of what he's done to grow our organization.
Great. Dave, welcome to our call.
Thank you very much.
Good. So tell me, it's been about a year or not quite a year since you were introduced to Lioness?
I actually found out about Lioness kind of by accident. I was on a conference call with another MLM, and there was a consultant online, as well as it was a conference call to explain a little bit about that MLM. And he said, this consultant said that if he was going to be doing something other than, the one that he was recommending, the MLM he was recommending, he said he'd be doing Lioness. So I kind of hung up the phone, and I started looking up Lioness. So that would have been around August 2012. And so I went to a meeting in Toronto, and actually I just found it to be a little bit lame. I couldn't see how 1 or 2% cash back would actually attract too many of my customers, and I didn't really get too much out of it. And so, admittedly, I think most people, when they first hear it the first time, they don't really catch on. But because of the fact that this consultant was telling everybody that that's something that he did not consider MLM, and that interested me a lot. But then I got really busy with life's curveballs, and so I was too busy then for that semester. I was teaching horticulture at a local college. It was my first year doing that. So I went back to another meeting in January, and I understood a little bit more, but then we had some issues with some of our employees resigning, And so I had to kind of cover for that. And then finally, I think Ray Young came around. It would have been, I think, last year in July. And when Ray explained that, I understood it much more clearly. And
so
you
make a good point. So I'm going to stop you for a second, and I'm going to kind of walk you through this. You got introduced, almost 2 years ago. And a lot of times when people introduce people, then when someone doesn't jump on it now because they don't get it or it's not the right time, like you said, I got busy with life, I got busy with business, other things happened, they take that no as a no forever, but it's a no, not now. And then again, you heard about it and you heard about it, and it's a little bit of that dripping. Sometimes people have to have, and statistically it's shown, that people need to hear about things 7 times before they make a buying decision. Sometimes it's the right personality, sometimes it's the right timing, sometimes it's the right circumstances, but your no wasn't a no for never. It was, give me more information and just not now. And then Ray had the fortitude to introduce you again and simplify. We tell people all the time, the more simple you make this, the better. When someone understands this is an exchange of idea, an exchange of commerce, and long-term potential, they tend to have the aha moments. And that's kind of what I just heard you say, that you had an aha moment when you were with Ray.
Definitely, yeah. I actually thought the concept was pretty good when I first saw it. I couldn't see realistically how my customers would jump on that.
Now let's talk about your customers. Tell us about your business. What kind of a business do you have?
Yeah, we're a retail garden center. We grow some of our plants, and we also buy and resell a lot of plants, and so it gives me the opportunity to buy in really, really good quality. When I made the decision last summer to become a member, I started watching for deals that we could offer to our customers that really wouldn't affect my bottom line. So maybe little side products like, for example, concrete garden ornaments. It's not something I count on making my revenue from. So we found a company with good pricing, and we worked out a better deal. And I thought, that's what I'll do. I'll sweeten the pot to make sure the customer is interested, because for now, quite frankly, there aren't that many places they can use their card. Previously, we had a loyalty program which was costing me $4,000 a year for this company to manage, and it was just
now. Let's take it to that. So you've done loyalty programs in the past.
Oh yeah.
You just said you had a program that cost you $4,000 every year in and year out, whether you got any business from it or not, right?
Absolutely. This one here is like a dream come true. It drives business to me, and I can make money from my customers' gas and groceries. And so, no, I'm very, very excited about the potential here. It's huge. And my motto is, if it works for the customer, and if the customer's happy, then it works for everybody. And
you make a very good point. If it works for the customer, then it makes everyone happy. So when people say, what do I say to an SME or a potential SME, I've always said from the very beginning, tell them what their customer gets. Tell them why the customer will benefit, because you just said it. If a customer's happy, they're going to be happy that you gifted them this membership, that you introduced them into your loyalty program, and they're going to thank you again and again and again. So when you share, it's not what's in it for the business, because the business wants to know what's in it for the customers, and it's easy for them to explain what's in it for the customers, because each and every one of these members is a customer, and they can talk about what are the benefits they get. But now you have a unique business because you're a greenhouse and a retail garden. Are you open 12 months a year?
We are now, because we became the gift card point of sale, and so we decided to carry it on all year round. And then,
but before Lioness, you closed down for how many months in a year?
That would have been November through March we were closed.
Okay, so 5 months a year you were closed, which means your revenue had to come from 7 months in a year. But last year when you became a member, you decided, hey, maybe I'll stay open at least during the holiday season and offer some additional things like some poinsettias and some Christmas trees, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and tell us what happened during that time that you were normally closed.
Well, I wanted to really ultimately focus on getting the system of enrolling people down pat. So we were really hiring staff to do that, and then at the same time really trying to figure out how we can enroll the masses, because I knew when it would come to April, May, June, and even July, that we're going to be faced with a lot of enrollments on a daily basis. We'll sweeten the pot to make sure that happens. So that's what I'm saying. So, for example, when the customer comes to the garden center and they see right now they could get a concrete ornament for half price, members get that price plus member benefits.
Now, explain that. You've decided, like you said, to sweeten the pot and offer additional benefits as an attraction for people to then register with you when they're at the greenhouse or at the garden center.
Yeah, so we offer 2% cash back, 12% loyalty benefit. As I saw, if people are going to spend $200, and a lot of people do spend, our average purchase is $250 a year. People will drive an hour to go to a garden center they like. So we want to make sure that was worth it. And so also, not only that, but if a buying group, let's say, would bring an extra $100,000 business to me, if they'd approach me and they would say, what kind of a discount would you offer, we would have said 20%. So technically, we're offering less by offering $212 plus the 2% administration, so we're grand total of 16%. So actually 4% less than what I would have normally done. And so it's enough to interest the people to drive a little bit more to come to the greenhouse. And so by sweetening the pot, we get the people super interested to the point where they're telling their friends, you got to become a member because you get this deal. So we're creating the natural word of mouth that you want. I know how word of mouth advertising it works. I always wanted to find a way where I could reward the people for word of mouth advertising, and so we're creating that. And the people are telling their brothers and their sisters, family, come become a member because you get this deal, and it's easy to become a member. It's free. And then what we'll be doing is slowly introducing them to how they can use the program by some auto-respond emailing.
So tell us what's happened. So you stayed open through the holiday season. You sold a few extra Christmas trees. You sold some poinsettias. You started bringing staff up to speed so that your staff could register your members, because you knew in the spring, which is your main season, you probably have 2 to 4 months where probably 70 to 90% of your income is generated. You knew that you needed to be available with these people. What has happened in April and May with your business and with your registering?
Okay, so we wanted as much as possible to make sure it was a well-oiled machine. We haven't been open at Christmas time for 7 years. So reopening meant we brought very few people in, and 175 people became members in about a 3-week period.
175 new members in a 3-week period when you hadn't been open in Christmas in 7 years, but you're just saying, hey, we are going to be here, we're going to have some Christmas trees.
Now,
that's fabulous.
We're going to make it happen. I see 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, we're going to be doing very, very well. So, like I said, I'll do what it takes to get the customers involved and to get them educated. And so you're carrying on then. Our month, January, February, we knew it would be super duper slow, so we didn't even want to bother promoting it, because we think that it might have made the message look too old by the time we got through to our busier time. So then we did some inside advertising as well as some flyers. I think right now one of them is available to look at online. So if you went online at www.kingswaygreenhouse.com, and I think you'll search through it. One of the fellows that we've hired has posted it there. I haven't even done it myself, so I can't exactly guide you through it. But you'll see what we're done. We're not mentioning the name Lioness. We're just saying the loyalty, become a loyalty member, cashback loyalty member, and it gives a few small requirements on there what to do. And there's a few new deals that are available. And so we actually had, I think, on the busiest day, 500 people fill out the form. So what we do is we have them fill out a form, and then we have staff to make sure it's legible. We want to be sure that they fill out all the information that's necessary, and we have other staff that spends all day at the computer doing the entries. And so we've also found a way, like on our form, which I could actually post if you want, they check all the different things, like that we're allowed to confirm on their behalf. So what we've done is we found some mail sites, email sites, where we can create almost like a Trojan horse, and it creates a temporary email for them. and so that we can have all of the emails actually forwarded to us, their welcome letter, and we turn around and forward it to them. So we're actually bypassing that part where if you leave it up to them to confirm, they go home, they forget. 3 days later, you've wasted your time because that information becomes irrelevant, and you have to enter it all over again. So we found a way, and they agree to it. We explain all of that we're confirming on their behalf, and so we're entering people and confirming on their behalf.
So let's go back and let's say you now, on your busiest day, you enrolled 500 new customers on that day. Now, I know May has been crazy for you. How many customers have you put in the month of May?
Just to verify, 500 people filled out the form. The staff could actually only enroll 120 that day.
Okay, so, all right. So 500 filled out the form, but you enrolled 120 that day. That's still a great day.
I mean, it would be a super effort for them to enroll that many in a day.
It would be.
Yeah, but so I think even today, right now, they're still enrolling last Thursday's members. So they're trying to catch up. We usually have the people enrolled by about 3 days after they filled out the form. And at this point in time, I think we've gotten 3,200, and that's mostly starting at the last week of April to the first week of May, when we really started the heavy promotion and sending out flyers in the mail with our post office. And then I think, though, if you count the ones they haven't filled out, we're up to about 3,700.
So 3,200 people have filled out an application that they want to be part of your loyalty program. And what kind of sales has that generated for you from the end of April through the first couple weeks in May?
That's a good question, because it's a little bit hard to know if they were new customers to us or not. We don't know. And so I wish I could answer that, and that's a really, really good question you're asking. And the other thing we haven't really done is we haven't really promoted it that well within the Lioness community. And so what I did is, instead of just expanded the territory that we would normally advertise to, offering these good deals, and we said we're not waiting around for the Lioness membership to give us new business. We're going to go get it ourselves. And so realistically, that's what we've done. We have created that. And so, like I said, if there were new Lioness members coming to me, right now I have no way of knowing.
Well,
I do expect to have them.
But if you go back into your Lioness M-Term or your Lioness online merchant office, you can see how many sales were generated. It's my understanding, I've gotten a dollar volume from Ray that you guys have done, and I don't know if that's something you discussed with Ray or Ray helped you.
Oh, no, that's okay. And yeah, I don't mind those numbers just being disclosed. Actually, we've hired a guy to kind of take care of it all. He should be here on the interview. He could tell you better than I could tell you. We're having a very, very good year.
Can you share some of those numbers with us?
Do you want to go ahead?
The ones that you know?
Yeah, I know that as far as it goes, so do you mean how much we have been billed?
Well, how much you've billed from... What I got numbers from May 14th through the 25th, what you had billed, and then what the benefits that were going to be distributed back to the members.
Yeah, you go ahead and say those numbers, and I'll tell you if they're accurate or not.
So the shopping volume from the 14th to the 25th, so basically 10 days, let's just call it 2 weeks, was over $340,000.
Yeah, that would be fairly accurate.
That would be fairly accurate. So, probably with the boom you're doing, you're probably done over $500,000 now. But the benefits was $55,000 in benefits that are going to go back to members, and that creates an excess of 540 units.
Yeah,
so when people talk about an SME, now again, you're primarily a seasonal business, but what you've done is you now have expanded to a year-round business because the Lioness community hasn't even really heard about you yet, and you're kind of regionally located in the Toronto area, and so with a seasonal business and a regional business, and yet what you've put together is a way that your existing customers want to be part of you, and now you're going to be open year-round to offer gift cards. You're going to offer additional services. You've brought in new product lines that have a bigger profit margin so that you can actually, almost like a loss leader, give some of that away to draw people back, create the word of mouth. But what you're doing is really solidifying your business so that it's no longer a seasonal business, but it is a year-round business, and long-term, you will probably have people spending more money outside of Lioness, and you're getting a little piece of that year-round than they ever did with you. I think you said, the average customer spends maybe $250 a year with you, but my goodness, they're spending $200, $300, $400 a month on petrol.
Yeah. No, the potential here is huge. No doubt about that. And I'd like to just give an illustration of something that has happened in the past with me and how I like to answer this to some of the other people that may have an objection with any of the listeners as well. About probably 12 years ago, the local garden clubs and horticulture societies approached me. One representative representing all of them came to me, and they had 2,200 collective members, and they asked me if I was willing to give 10% discount to their membership. And, of course, they showed me that there were already 3 or 4 garden centers on board. So I felt like the gun was to my head. I mean, if you say no, they're going to boycott. And to say yes, I mean, you got to remain competitive. So, of course, I said yes. 3 or 4 years later, one of the members showed me their card, and they had 14 garden centers on board. And I thought, I don't have any loyalty, and I got to give up 10%. And so now when people make this objection, they say, yeah, what happens when all the other garden centers get involved in this Lioness? Then you lose your benefit. And I said, no. First of all, I'm going to make sure I enroll the other garden centers. But secondly, I said, we all have the opportunity to enroll our customers and make money from their gas and groceries and all their other purchases. That's a huge difference. You can imagine this when this is everywhere, and I expect 2-3 years, it's pretty much going to be everywhere. Get the people on board now. You have this opportunity. Some other people will say, oh, it's going to be saturated. I say, so what? What difference does that make? I intend to saturate it. We have a local coffee shop chain called Tim Hortons. Hooray for you BC people, you know who Tim Hortons is. And our area is saturated. Who cares? Doesn't matter. You can't start a franchise here if you want to. You're too late, and nobody cares about that. So my intent is to saturate, and we're definitely going after everybody. 10 years from now, everybody's going to be a Lioness member, and we intend to make that happen. So with buying power, too, once we say we have 10,000 people very locally in this area, you can go to any small merchant, and I don't think they could turn that down. I don't think it's too clever of an idea for them to not give us the time of day. It's sort of like petitioning. You create enough names on a petition, and they have to listen. So it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
And I love that you said, I want to sign up all the other garden centers, because whether someone shops with you, and if you have registered those other garden centers, then they go shop with your competition, you're getting a piece of everything that's happening with your competition. How fabulous that is. You truly have the right mindset. You truly understand the concept of what we're going, and you're really running with it to the maximum. I mean, I love hearing your vision. I love seeing, more importantly, what you're creating. And I love that you don't see the limitations, but instead the opportunities for how this is going to enrich your business, enrich your life, enrich your community, which is what this is all about.
Yeah. In my mind, because of my experience, even seeing how the garden clubs coerced everybody, every merchant in the garden center business to be on board, we have way more of, benefit to offer them. We all have the opportunity now to make money from the big box stores. I've never had that opportunity before. And not only that, when the salesmen visit me, this is what I say to them. I say, I've just found out. And when you say those words, they're listening very carefully. I just found out how I can make money from my customers' gas and groceries with my new loyalty program. They said, what did you just say? You make money from your customers? off your loyalty program? Tell me more about that. So we've got huge interest. I've got all kinds of appointments I've got to make once I get through the middle of June, because people are asking me. I've got salesmen calling me up telling me, will you please tell me about this program? So this is, what they've done is I've kind of broken the ice with that comment, and they're asking for a presentation. So the decision has been made already. Now they want the presentation. And so that makes it way easier. If you start making a presentation first before they've decided they want it, you're really spinning your wheels. But get them to make the decision that they want to hear about it first. And that's very simple because it's a logical program. So for me, it's fun. I'm really enjoying this. And,
well, you sound like you're having fun. You're having great success. You're making a difference on our team and in your community. And what more could you ask for? Dave, is there anything else you want to share with us before I pull Ray back on the line?
I think that's about it. Those are the main strategies. We have, I wanted to say that we have one salesman that I thought for a second he wasn't interested. His body language showed it. He put his head down, thought for a second, put his head up, and he said, because they're a distributor for Miracle Grow across Canada, he said, at our show this coming September, we're going to pitch every garden center across Canada and every pet food store. So the interest is phenomenal. They're seeing it. They see it very, very quickly. The opportunity is here. And do what it takes. Sweeten the pot. Make the customer interested. It's all about the customer. And the customer's happy, they're going to tell their friends. And now you've created the natural word-of-mouth advertising that you want. There's no selfish motive involved when they're doing that. Nobody has any opposition to a company that grows that way. So we're removing all the negative stigma that might have come previously with some what people call pyramid schemes. When people approach it from more of a selfish point of view, here we're creating it so that it's the natural word-of-mouth advertising. So I love it.
Dave, you are wonderful, and I know we'll be hearing more from you. Congratulations on your success. Congratulations on your business, and we're thrilled to have you part of our shopping network. Ray, do I still have you on the phone with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I know that you've got to run. You've got a team call to go to. Is there anything you wanted to add to our call tonight? And I so appreciate you as a leader bringing this to my attention so we could share it with everyone and being willing to get Dave on the line with us tonight. I know people are going to love getting to hear this again and again.
Yeah, I'll just summarize with a couple points. Again, I mean, when you find somebody, a merchant like Dave, and their commitment, you've really just got to come alongside of them. But you got to remember, his biggest picture of this is the unity part of it, where if we get a lot of people in a small area, like a place like what we call Durham Region, which is east end of Toronto, and get a lot of merchants and a lot of people, merchants then no longer really have an option. They really need to choose to become part of our loyalty program. Otherwise, they're going to lose the biggest opportunity on the planet to get buying power, or basically, in their case, selling power by a large organization. So we're excited. Dave is one of many that we've got going this way. We really are big on selling the co-branded cards at the end term. We're getting 90-day commitments. I signed up 8 SMEs last month with 90-day commitments to give up their 500 cards. And when I look at that, by the end of year one, it was like 25 or 35,000 people, a lot of it built by the SMEs, which will automatically create and demand shopping consistently. And we're going to build a shopping network, so we're excited.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm going to end with just a few announcements, and I want to thank both you and Dave for being on the call. We'll get you a copy of this so that you can share it with your team. It'll be posted tonight on my Cashback Start Facebook page so you can listen to it or send it along, because this is what people really need to know when they're talking to merchants, the possibility of building a shopping network and really helping a business really solidify their business. So thank you. And Ray, I'll look forward to seeing you in Austria at the Leaders Convention this month. So what I wanted to share with everyone is I want you to mark your calendars, because your leaders will be headed to Austria at the end of June. We've just started our new production month, and we will have our